Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either January 10th or 11th, 2023. And I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? We've got 6 books I want to talk about today, but I have a little bit of fringy types of things that I want to talk about a little bit today. I'm always sensitive about the length of these videos, so I'll try to move through everything as quickly as possible. The first thing I want to just mention on a side note that doesn't really pertain to this video at all is that I have become obsessed with the Marvel Snap mobile game. I've been playing it so much. If you've been playing it and enjoying it, let me know down in the comments. I am hovering around level 50 right now. I sometimes drop down to 49, I sometimes go up to 51. It is so much fun and oftentimes extremely infuriating, but I want to get really good at it, so I'm going to try to build a deck that I think has a lot of cool little tricks up my sleeve. It's a lot of fun and frustrating, but that's part of the fun as well. So if you haven't already been checking it out, it's free. So you just download it and play it. I would recommend it. All right, let's go ahead and talk about comic books now. Now, the first thing I want to do is talk about my pick from 2 weeks ago, which was The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 12. And the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile pick to be my just one book pick of the week? The answer is yes. As you all know, I'm a big fan of James Tynion IV. I'm a big fan of The Nice House on the Lake. And issue number 12 delivered for me. It had an ending, but it wasn't a definitive ending, and I'm okay with that. I'm starting to kind of realize that there are 2 things that really never happen in comic books. 1, permanent deaths, and 2, definitive endings, because there always seems to be the interest in keeping the potential of more from a title, keep that potential alive, and that makes a lot of sense to me. But the ending of this first, I'm going to call it book of The Nice House on the Lake, these first 12 issues, was satisfying. It felt like a nice little ending to this segment of the story while still being open-ended to a lot more storytelling. So I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was well done. I'm really hoping there's more. There's nothing announced yet. There's been lots of hints at there being more, and the potential is absolutely there. So I really hope that there is going to be more there, because it's something I really enjoyed, and it was absolutely a worthwhile pick as far as I'm concerned. If you read the entirety of The Nice House on the Lake, let me know your thoughts of it down in the comments, specifically about the ending. And just so you all know, I've been really bad about responding to comments. I'm not happy about that. I should at the very least heart it so that you know that I've read it, but I read and appreciate every single one. So thank you to all of you who leave comments, and feel free to like as well. The only other side thing that I want to mention today is, because this might be the last time I get a chance to talk about The Nice House on the Lake for a while, I just want to show you 2 things. This is my double-signed 9.8 copy of The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 1, the 1 in 25 for the 3rd printing. When I got this back double signed in a 9.8, I actually thought it was going to be a 9.6. I was so stoked because I thought this is going to be the Nice House on the Lake book to have, being that it's a 3rd print, 1 in 25, double signed 9.8. But as it turns out, on the CGC census, there's a fair amount of these. There's 122 blue labels and 49 yellow labels. Now, I don't know how many of those yellow labels just have 1 signature or how many have 2 signatures, but mine has 2, so it puts me probably in the elite of that. But 49 signed and 122 unsigned is a decent amount of these. Now, I just want to compare it to this guy right here that I didn't think was going to be as important or potentially valuable. I don't know the actual values of these. I haven't looked up. This is the double-signed 9.8 Nice House on the Lake, issue number 1, 1 in 25 variant for the 2nd print. Also double-signed once again. Now, On the CGC census, there's 104 blue labels of these. So there's a solid amount of blue labels, about 2/3 of what there is for the third print 1 in 25. But there are only 5 signature series yellow label 9.8s for this 1 in 25 second print. And I know for a fact, because I saw an eBay listing for it, one of them just has one signature. So this is there's only 4 other out. There's the one on eBay, there's this one, and there's 3 more. So this is pretty rare, way more rare than I thought it was going to be. But I'm really super stoked to have it, and it surprised me when I looked at the census. Anyways, like I said, this is the last chance I have, probably, maybe ever, hopefully not, but at least for a good long while, to talk about the nice house on the lake. So I had to flex. Maybe a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the books that are coming out this week. And like I mentioned, there are 6 of them. 3 of them I'm buying, 3 of them I am not. Let's jump right into it. First, I want to tell you about a new book. It's actually a one-shot. It's DC Universe, Lazarus Planet Alpha, issue number 1. Once again, a one-shot from DC. Here's the description. Change the world. Following the explosive, literally, events of Batman vs. Robin number 4, the Lazarus volcano has erupted, spewing dangerous and transformative chemicals into Earth's atmosphere. As these Lazarus clouds rain down upon the planet, people across the globe begin to develop strange new abilities. Watch their already extraordinary abilities change and witness a whole host of chaos unlike anything the DCU has experienced before. It's up to Damian Wayne to put out the distress call for whoever can still hear it. Come to the ruins of the Hall of Justice and help save the world. Poison Ivy, Power Girl, Cyborg, Batman, and more answer the call. But why could the fate of all life as we know it rest in the hands of Monkey Prince? Okay, so I'm not going to say much about this. It's all there in the description. This is basically kind of sort of teeing up what's going to be happening in the DC universe for the foreseeable future. So if you're particularly interested in knowing what's going to be happening in the DC universe for the foreseeable future, this might be something that you want to pick up. In addition, it might end up being key because there might be new characters. Who knows what kind of rando unpowered person could become powered and become a superhero of the future. Who knows what kind of changes could happen to already powered people that might stick around for the future. So there may be some key potential here as well. So there's a lot of reasons to buy this book. I'm actually not going to pick it up, but I am going to be keeping it on my radar, so I thought I would put it on yours. This last cover that you're seeing right here is some kind of card, like trading card variant. I don't know if they punch out or something, but there may be allocations for this one, so this one might be hard to find. You might consider picking it up if you see it and you want this book. The next book I want to mention to you is a new book. It is called Final Gamble, issue number 1 of a 6-issue limited series from a publisher I've never heard of called Band of Bards. Here's the description. Gambling addict Danny Lin and disgraced MMA fighter Jasmeet Khanna have both fallen on hard times. Owing an enormous amount of money to a loan shark named Mandy, they are offered the chance to save themselves by winning the money they need in a game of poker against her. Unable to work together, the 2 men are easily defeated. As a result of their defeats, the 2 become prisoners of the Mercury Society, a group composed of the richest and most powerful people in the world. In this unforgiving hell, people are forced to fight to the death in an elite gamble for their souls. Sound like Squid Game to you? Me too. It absolutely sounds like Squid Game, but not exactly the same thing, just kind of the same kind of concept. I'm not super interested in this one, but I thought it was interesting enough to mention to you. So I've done that. Let's go ahead and move on. The next book I want to mention to you is Miles Morales, Spider-Man, issue number 2 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Spidey versus the Scorpion's sting. Miles Morales' world is spinning out of control. A mysterious new threat is rising and coming at Spider-Man hard. And if Spidey doesn't fight back with everything he's got, he could lose everything. What does this new villain have to do with Misty Knight's investigation and a slew of upgraded foes like the Scorpion terrorizing NYC? This battle is going to change Spidey's life forever. Someone's not walking away from this one. Okay, between the references to a mysterious new threat, this new villain, this battle is going to change Spidey's life forever, someone's not walking away from this one. There's been a promise of new villains for Miles Morales since the first issue of this basically relaunch of the title. I mentioned it before and I'm mentioning it again. Miles Morales needs his own set of bad guys, his own rogues gallery. He doesn't really have much by way of that as far as I know it. So it's good that they're giving him that, and it looks like it might be in this book. We'll see. But I'm absolutely picking up this book this week. Miles Morales is a character who's here to stay, and so this might be a good time to have him on your radar. And if you didn't know, been interested about reading his title, which I was, jumping on issue number 1 was probably a good way to go, and not too late here with issue number 2. The next book I want to mention to you is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 28 from Boom Studios. Here's the description. As Erica closes in on the duplistotype, another hunter closes in on her. Time is running out for Erica as the ruthless Cutter leaves her with nowhere to run. Weakened and unable to flee from a town that's too full of suspicion to trust her, can Erica find a way to save the people of Tribulation before Cutter arrives? Can she even save herself? All right, the biggest surprise about this week is that it's not my pick of the week. Although I'm super, super excited about this, and as you all know, I'm a big fan of James Tynion IV. I'm a big fan of Something is Killing the Children. So I am absolutely picking this up this week, and I'm really looking forward to it. This issue number 28 is exciting to me because issue number 27 ended with something happening. Once again, I'm always vague. I'm spoiler free here. That was like a very cool, like, oh wow, where are we gonna go from here kind of moment. So that moment was really exciting, and what that moment will do for the potential of where this story is going is also really exciting. Something is Killing the Children is my favorite comic book out there. I think it is super, super fantastic. If you're not already reading it, is my recommendation for issue number 28 going to get you started on it? No, probably not, but it's never too late. This is one of the more popular titles in all of comic books right now. In fact, there was something really interesting. I was looking at League of Comic Geeks, and they list all of the books that are coming out this upcoming week, and they list them from the most pulled, as far as people who use League of Comic Geeks to manage their pulls, the most pulled book from the least pulled book. It goes DC, Marvel, 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 DC, Marvel, boom, Something is Killing the Children, Marvel, 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 DC, 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 Marvel, and then Image. So, I mean, for an indie, Something is Killing the Children is a premier, top-tier book. Lots of people are reading it. It's because it's really good. I can't say enough about it. I'm excited about issue number 28. The next book I want to mention to you is a new book. It is called NEMESIS Reloaded, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series from Image Comics. Here's the description. Miniseries premiere. The world's most evil comic book is back. Who is Nemesis, and why does this eccentric billionaire who dresses up in a mask and cape want to terrorize people instead of helping them? Isn't that how this is supposed to go? Trigger warning, too violent and too cool for some. Okay, well, remains to be seen, but this sounds pretty interesting. It sounds pretty cool. I tried to look up if this Nemesis character has a appeared somewhere before, and I hit a dead end. I didn't like work really, really hard at it, but I went to Key Collector, and Key Collector was not helpful. So this might be the first appearance of this character. I'm not sure. I know that there are people that like comic books that like kind of, you know, violent stuff. And you can get that from comic books. Comic books is a great place for that sometimes. I mean, I'm a fan of Something Is Killing the Children. I never thought I'd be a fan of horror, but here I am. This Nemesis is probably going to deliver on the kind of horror violence aspect. You know, it does say too violent and too cool for some. So if you think violence is cool in your comic book entertainment, then this might be a book for you to check out. But the thing that kind of sort of stood out the most for me with this book are the creative team, or is the creative team. Mark Millar, who is a writer whose name I've heard a lot. I do not have any kind of first-hand experience with Mark Millar, but he is a name that when I hear, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He's no slouch. So that sounds like, you know, there could be something good there coming from him. And then on top of that, the art is from Jorge Jimenez. Jorge Jimenez is currently drawing and has been doing drawing for a long time, the current Batman run, and it is fantastic. His art in Batman is so good. Not only is it well executed, but he does such a good job conveying action, motion, but then also like the art is just phenomenal. So I usually don't get super excited about artists. I've said before, I'll say it again, I'm a more writer-focused enjoyer of comic books, but Jorge Jimenez is really good. So it's disinterest. I'm probably not going to pick this up, but it is on my radar. As much as I love his art, I'm not a huge fan of the violence of it. That doesn't necessarily appeal to me, but I can see this being very cool from a story perspective and from an art perspective. So if these things all add up for you, you might consider picking it up this week. And that brings us to the last book I'm going to talk about in this video today, which is, of course, my Just One Book pick of the week. And that book is Black Cloak, issue number 1 from Image Comics. Here's the description. Series premiere. Eisner Award-winning writer Kelly Thompson heads to Image for the first time with Black Cloak, an all-new series with artist Meredith McLaren. Blade Runner style mixes with saga-esque drama in a delectable fantasy sci-fi blend as 2 black cloaks try to solve the murder of a beloved prince in Kyros, the last city in the known world, before his murder tips the city into war. The mystery begins in a spectacular triple-length first issue for $4.99. Okay, so that's exciting. That last sentence is exciting. They're going to give you a lot of content for $5, which for me makes this book a pretty good contender for at least picking it up and trying it out, because you're going to get a very good sense of whether or not this book is for you after reading this triple-length first issue. There's sometimes when I read a new book and I read the first issue, I was like, that was interesting. I don't know what to think of it yet. Let me get to issue number 2 or 3 before I can really make up my mind about whether or not I like this or not. Well, as a triple-length first issue, hopefully I'll know by the end of issue number 1. So that's good too. And at $5 for triple-length, that's not too shabby either. I'm comfortable with that price point for a triple-length book, as long as it's not like extra pages of just graphics or something like that. In addition, this is from Eisner Award-winning writer Kelly Thompson. I do not know Kelly Thompson personally. Well, not personally like in real life, but as a writer, personally, that name doesn't really it rings a little bit of a bell, but I can't really tell you what they have done or why we should care, but I can tell you that it does say Eisner Award winning, and to me, that means something. I think the Eisners mean something. I mean, I'm a big fan of James Tynion IV. he's won Best Writer back-to-back years. I totally agree with that. So I think it means something. And so the fact that Kelly Thompson won an Eisner makes me think, okay, they're at least a halfway decent writer. Now, the description informs us that there is a lot going on in this book. Blade Runner style, saga-esque drama, fantasy sci-fi, solving a murder, a city on the brink of war. There is a lot going on in this book. That is either going to be a massive strength for this book or a massive weakness, and all of that remains to be seen. But there is enough in this description to pique my interest that I made it my just one book pick of this week. I did not have this book on my radar at all until I started doing research for this video. When I started my research, I looked at my polls for the week and I was like, oh man, am I gonna pick Something Is Killing the Children again? Let me see if there's anything out there that could possibly intrigue me more than Something Is Killing the Children, issue number 28. I wouldn't say this intrigues me more. Happily, I'm gonna buy both of these books and the Miles Morales one. But this intrigues me enough that I was like, I can comfortably put this ahead of Something Is Killing Children, issue number 28, as my recommendation as a just one book pick. And those are all the reasons why Black Cloak, issue number 1, is my just one book pick for this week. All right, that's it. Hopefully with all my extra little banter in this video wasn't too long. If you have any thoughts you want to share, once again, let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, likes are appreciated by me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.